Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Toledo. We've got a really cool tool review here. Of course, I'm going to give you a demonstration about how this tool works. It is the fender lip tool from PDR Finesse. To be exact, their model number is 248. They always etch in their model numbers on the inside of their tool. And well, it's not always the inside, it could be the outside too as well, but that's not really relevant to what I'm saying. It's just to help you identify what this tool is. So if you'd like to purchase it, you can go ahead and do so. Now you'll notice this tip is very flat on the inside and round on the outside. This makes a really big difference because when you go to push, you're not going to really chew up the panel as much as you would on any other tool. I really do like this tool. When I first got this tool, I thought it might be too long. I thought maybe the handle was the shaft was going to be too long. It might hit the ground or whatnot. That is not the case at all. Thanks to the double bend, it kind of throws out the handle a little bit so you have some room to push. And I happen to think it's very, very good. So I'll go ahead and show you guys a demonstration exactly what I'm talking about. Let's talk about a common dent that's really hit on the front fenders like you see here. In case you guys are wondering, I'm using a ultralight. I have fog on one edge and lines on the other. I call it my hybrid or reflection. So I can kind of see both reflections and cross check back and forth using this reflection. I do use dual reflection a lot. So I recommend you guys do too if you're curious about one or the other reflection. So let's get right into this. As you can see, these little pesky dents are kind of hard to get to. Either sometimes you bow out the fender trying to get to it, or you kink it, or you just can't get to that bottom edge. Well, say hello to my little friend. This tool is absolutely great for this fender lip. Now the main thing is you want to use the fender lip tool at this angle right there. That's going to give you the best possible chance of getting to the dent because you want the front edge lip coming down, making contact right to the edge of the dent. Okay, let me say that again. The front edge of the tool, you want to make contact with the end or the edge of the lip of the fender. You want to get where the dent is all the way down. And from this angle, that's how it's going to happen. Now, if you're new to PDR and you're wondering how I'm gaining access, how I was able to remove that fender liner, it's just a couple clips and I just kind of push the fender liner down out of the way. For some people, it's easier just to remove the whole fender liner, but in most cases, that's not necessary. Now, I'm going to, again, try to keep it straight. If I try to twist it in, I definitely don't want to try to side load with this tool. It's kind of going to chew it up, and plus you're not going to benefit the full use of this tool working correctly. So I'm starting from the top, trying to shrink the metal down and work my way down to the center part, which is obviously close to the edge. As I'm doing that, you're starting to see the lines come together, and I'm always checking to see it from left to right barely to see what area I need to push the most. Okay, so right now I'm pushing a little bit towards the right of the center, and then I'll push over to the left of the center. You can see this tool is working amazing. It's working really clean. It's not chewing it up, and I'm getting really good pushes as I do it. Again, I'm actually leveraging off the tire, which gives me a lot of leverage and a lot of power into the dent. Not that I really need a lot of it, but it definitely helps. You don't want your tool slipping, so make sure you keep the handle straight and flat. Now, if you get it pretty straight, you make a little bit of push marks, no big deal. You can tap it down, but right now I'm going for just the micro little lows. There is still a little low, and there's a little pinch right there in that bottom area that I will tap down a little bit. Actually, I might try to blend out. When you have a slight pinch and a slight little low, I would definitely go for the pinches, knock those down. You definitely don't want anything high because that's going to always give away your dent. But if you knock down and blend out, kind of leave it subtly low, It's very, very hard to tell, especially with a customer. They're probably never going to be able to tell. But it has to look straight in the general lines or your general reflection, your fog, or whatever it may be that you're choosing to use. And as I pan the reflection, you can barely see that little pinch, that little wobble right there. That it's not something so obvious, but it can be a little obvious. So if you see it, tap it down. If it doesn't, obviously you wouldn't, but you could probably get away with that. And just above it is a little bit of a tiny bit of a low. But if we tap it down, it should start looking really good and should be pretty good without having to go back in and push. Now I'm actually using a Dentcraft tap down. It's a longer extension hammer, and I'm using another hammer on top of it. In case you guys aren't good with blending, you can use a longer hammer and a shorter hammer, but still be able to look at a distance and see those little slight highs. I understand when you're really close, you can't see those highs. Well, try getting a longer extension hammer or longer hammers and doing it like I'm doing it right now. This hammer is probably about 2.5 feet, 2 feet long, or 3 feet long, and I'm back probably a good 2 feet from this reflection. And I'm looking across the panel so I can see just the slightest little infractions or little highs that I need to tap down. Okay guys, I'm pretty much wrapped up. There is going to be a slight tiny wave. I'm not going for perfection here, just get my point across about this dent. I could go in there and actually touch that up, but heck, this is just a demonstration. You guys get the point, get the gist. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is a first premiere for you guys, so you guys get to see it first. As always, this will probably be released on YouTube a few weeks later, maybe about a month later or so. But again, my name is Mike Toledo. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I highly recommend this tool. PDR Finesse is number 248. Pick it up. You'll be glad you did. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you on the next video.